A sense of welcoming and settling. And giving this time in this space. Gathering unhurried connection inward, and together, the energy gathered together. The breath, breathing in with the belly going out, breathing out with the belly going in. All the time in the world, this moment. Into this body, into this sense of being here. The release of the past. We're not picking up with the future. We're resting in this moment. Recollecting, reconnecting, and interest. Allowing, permitting these suggestions to the heart as one rests a little, interested, alert. The energy and the presence gathered. the knowing known. The stillness, the sensitivity, life lived, awake, and a sense of well-wishing and safety and practice. In this knowing, there's no extra, there's no problems, just this. Welcome, sufficient. This time, this place, this here, this now, this experience, this smile, this knowing, this sensitivity and stillness, sustained and flowing, the experience is received as it is. Attention is offered without agenda or expectation, enjoying the interest in life as it is. The whole of it, the background, the foreground, the space, the content, silence and the sound, the thought and the awareness. the gift, and the sufficiency, the capacity to receive. Accepting, not knowing, trying to make sense of it, knowing the unknown. Before the grasping, before the interpretation, the whole of it. Allowing, receiving, and the giving in life, life to life. Only this moment, now, here, here, now. The particularity of this experience, all the energy gathered with this knowing, inward. Sustaining the interest. You have an opportunity to consider, to reflect, to offer. An opportunity to receive, to notice. My sense of I am, how strong that is, what it lights on, where it lands, where does it land? And what am I supposed to do about it? A question that, how can this be more comfortable? How can this be more as I want it? And where is this sense of I? this binding belief and assumption in self. It's not wrong, because then I shouldn't have my sense of self. It makes it even more complicated. Just the knowing of this, what does it do? I'll find something. Just give me something to do. Just tell me. I'll look through, I'll look in any books, I'll listen to many talks, I'll find something that tells me, because I don't know, what should I be doing? So give me something. And these first three fetters, they go round and round and round. It's not somehow stupid if the scriptures say something like it. To overcome the first three fetters is like defeating 1,000 people in hand-to-hand combat. And then there's recognition that there isn't a way, because it can't, on its own terms, it won't end. And that's fine. It's just the way that it's always going to be. So long as this separateness is experienced. And the confidence and the trust of that willingness to train, the overcoming of the first three fetters, or the not being fooled by them, or the the first three fetters, before those are really understood, this practice doesn't really begin. It's still the wheels are still spinning, and the vehicle's not going anywhere. It's just spinning round and round and round. So, and it's all about thought, and it's all about time, and it's all about believing in the sense of helplessness that comes with the continued attachment to my importance. And yet, this is what we live with. So, accepting this, and not dwelling in aversion to this, is also really important. And the confidence that there is something that can be done, there is a practice. And this is how the relationship that makes life worthwhile is. That real experience of the acceptance and understanding of dukkha, the willingness to practice the path. And in that willingness to practice the path, there's the letting go of the sense of inadequacy. And the letting go of the sense of inadequacy is the ending of that particular suffering. So do really, 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 really practice the path. It's just all that needs to be done. Just keep convincing yourself one way or another that there is goodness, and I can enjoy doing goodness, and the results of doing goodness will bring a good result. There are, not following, stupid things, unwholesome things. Feel happy about doing that. Feel happy about meditating. Have an interest in that sense of meditation, so that one's joy comes more through that goodness than through sensual pleasures or getting caught in righteous anger and thinking the world should work as I want it to work. Because I certainly know what everybody needs to do, which is, particularly the people I'm close to. I really know how they should behave, and it's that madness that when we can feel when we do this how caught we are. So just continue to do good and have joy in the doing of good. And joy in the practice of non-indulgence, non-harming, and not dwelling in hatred. And particularly, don't dwell in hatred for this one here. Don't keep calling oneself a fool or an idiot, or think that one's somehow better than everybody else, which is the other extreme. And notice the swinging from one to the other, because none of it's at that level. It doesn't really matter. Do the best one can in the moment. Do wholesome things and find joy in that. And then the next two fetters of sensuality and anger will be lessened. And that's those that when they're lessened, the return to the animal realm is blocked off, because that's the animal realm. The animal realm is fear and desire and hatred and desire. The beginning of the practice is the first 2-3 fetters. It's stream entry, 7 more lives or something. It's still got momentum, but the momentum is then towards doing the proper, the right thing. The generating causes that will be less suffering for oneself and others. And enjoy doing that. Enjoy when one's meditating, that one's actually practicing something that in that moment can be joyful, that one is doing it, and then finding ways to cultivate a sense of interest in the moment. So what is happening now? Where is there no suffering? What is not thinking? You want to stop thinking because it goes round and round and round in your mind, but one's not prepared to notice what's not thinking, what's not proposed. I don't want to get bored. But allowing oneself to be interested in the what's not. It's not exciting, not horrifying, not even a good story, just silence, space, not fixing on things, not even trying to interpret in the moment, just interest. Maybe playing a bit, seeing how things work. Dwelling in a sense of not aversion, dwelling in the sense of appreciation, dwelling in the sense of giving space for suffering to end, giving the space and the structure for suffering to end, dwelling in the space of serene sensitivity. Go to the place of non-returning. Really, don't go back to the muck. Don't dwell in the wrong parts of town. Dwell in the Brahma Viharas. Practice metta as often as you can, because that means that one can accept what is, particularly accept this one. You know, the fact that one feels that I should improve, I should be better, or only because one wishes oneself well. I shouldn't feel guilty. I'm guilty that I feel guilty, or I'm angry that I get angry. What can I do about my anger? I get so upset about things. I don't want my anger. I'm angry that I'm angry. I'm upset that I'm jealous. I'm upset that, I get greedy. I shouldn't get greedy. I'm supposed to be a practitioner. I shouldn't get angry, certainly. All of this lack of I should have more metta for myself. Again, it's just making it more complicated, isn't it? How do I get more metta for myself and for others? I know I should have more metta. Ajahn Vajiro says that I should have more metta. You have to accept it where it is. I shouldn't get caught up in judging. Yeah. How's that for a judgment? It's you can, and if it happens like this, sort of find a way to lightly laugh at it. Really, do notice the sense of the smile. There's a sense of, this is just, and give it the space to end without trying to, don't act on things that are actually harmful. No, that's the joy of the Buddhist precepts and the way that the Buddha's teaching. It's like, don't. So you have a chance to notice when you step over boundaries, rather than thinking I should become. Like, okay, if I don't do this, then let's see what happens. And having the patience to stay with the impulses and the habits and allow them to end. Sustain the patience. This thing about, when one notices one has an addiction or a particular habit that one keeps following. I tell the story about cigarettes. I only had, I smoked cigarettes for a long time. And then when I decided to give up, I decided I only have to remember that I've given up when there becomes the opportunity to have a cigarette. If I start to say, I will give up, then I'm making myself into somebody that is always fighting the addiction. Whereas I just have to remember in the moment, I don't smoke anymore. Yeah? I don't have to make myself into somebody who's given up smoking. Just have to remember that I don't do it anymore in the moment. Be patient with that. It's a moment. Patience for me, again, it's a momentary thing. I can't be patient for 10 minutes. I can only be patient now. If I try to be patient for 10 minutes, I keep thinking, is the 10 minutes up? Is the 10 minutes up? Is the 10 minutes up? Whereas if I was, okay, I can stay with it now. I can stay with it now. I can remember now. I can be interested now. What's happening now? And the endurance is just that repetition, that exercise. And not dwelling in aversion, not trying to push away, having the capacity to be with things. I wish myself better, so I have to be with what is. And it's not complacent, because then I can be grateful and practice not doing things that are unwholesome, and that gives space for doing things that are wholesome. And appreciate life as it's given. And not make more of it, not conceive anything. I'm going to get better. Don't notice it. Just notice what is. Oh, yeah. I want to get up to the next thing. When am I going to get to the next stage? What's the next thing that's going to happen? When will I experience the fruits of my meditation practice? Feeling the sense of a high, feeling the sense of more stress. Rather than resting, that's why I took this, I do this, don't practice to get enlightened, practice being enlightened. It's a funny sort of way of talking about something. But it gives a hint of that it's possible to act without a sense of confusion, without a sense of neediness, without a sense of overwhelm. In the moment, do what one can. And then the test of your practice, the test of your life is, are unwholesome qualities decreasing and are wholesome qualities increasing in your own life and those around you. But don't worry, you can't convince everybody. No, that is not possible. But you can deal with, the person on the end of the phone or the person in front of you. And then if you get really skillful, you can deal with the people that you think of my relatives, of my friends, the mind bit, which are the really, and if it all works out well and things are going well, then appreciation, mudita, enjoy the goodness of your life. No one really practices metta, there's also mudita, and there's also karuna, because one will do what one can to not make further suffering for oneself or others. One will notice what's wrong, but one won't dwell in aversion. In noticing things that are wrong, one can correct them without being averse to it, just out of a sense of I wish myself well, I wish others well, and do the best one can. This requires patience and endurance and sensitivity. That's what upekkha is about. Not further conceiving restlessness and ignorance. No, the knowing that one doesn't know. I don't know. That's going to have to be, one's sense of it's okay. One can notice what's wrong. I don't know what to do, so I'll do the best I can. There you go. Solved. And the best you can is practice the Eightfold Path. And, you've got the steps of it. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vaca, Samma Kamanto, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. The Samma in sense of what does it lead to? It leads to the Dhamma. It's in tune with the Dhamma. You enter the stream, practicing the path. You practice to enter the stream. It leads towards the Dhamma, the deathless, the now, the here, outside of time, the beautiful and the encouraging, the inviting. When one acts by body, speech, by mind, beautiful, encouraging, inviting. Yeah. Leading to a sense of peace, leading to a sense of inward and outward peace. Because the burdensome practice of judging just brings annoyance and weariness. Yeah? Or samsara is the tendency to find fault. There was a couple of phrases from things that I read years ago. One can see how that happens. The sense of endless, aimless wandering, and how burdensome it is, how one carries around all sorts of judgments about this being good, this being bad, this person being that way, that way, me being this way, that one being that way, and it just goes on and on and on. There's no end. No, it's tiring. Exhausting. Can't even sleep at night sometimes when one gets caught up in it. Unnecessary, but there it is. And then, it's unnecessary. I shouldn't be doing this to myself. I shouldn't be doing it to others. Ground again. This is how it is. Really, a lot of it is a lack of confidence in the Buddha, lack of confidence in the Buddha's teaching. That's why Namo Tassa is so important. Just practice that confidence. Samadhi. Let that be the basis for the goodness of your life, the beauty of your life, beauty of life. A real beauty, a real encouragement, giving oneself courage, giving oneself a sense of purpose. I can do good with this thing. I can, just enjoy doing that as best one can to oneself and others. Trying to do the right thing rather than what one wants. One doesn't really know sometimes what the right thing is, but at least not doing the wrong thing. You've got very clear instructions on that. That's the beauty of the Buddha's teaching, because it just says, this is clear. It makes a lot of sense, really. We have the teaching of the 10 fetters, and the basic one of not getting caught in personality belief, not getting caught in wondering about what to do, not getting caught in the thoughts and plans and endless speculation. I am somebody, I need to do something, and I'm not sure if it's the right thing or if I can do it. And then project it onto others. There's somebody, they need to do something, and I'm not sure whether they're going to do it. Ajahn Vajiro is somebody, he needs to tell me what to do, and I'm not sure whether what he tells me is going to be right or if he can really do it. Maybe there's somebody else who can do it better. It goes round and round and round, doesn't it? As if, if one keeps practicing as best one can and then finding a joy in that, then one's interest in just sensuality and getting caught in hatred drops. Doesn't have so much to fear and so much to worry about. Just keep going. Don't look back. Keep practicing the Brahma Viharas and don't look back. And then don't get caught in being restless about conceiving something else. And don't get caught in stupidity and ignorance. I hope that encourages a tiny piece. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, fine. If it doesn't, leave it behind. The main thing about the Eightfold Path, 80% of your attention inwards, 20% out. So if you're writing something, if you're doing something, give that. Why am I doing this? What's happening? What am I putting out into this world? Into this world that I then have to live in. So I offer that. And if there are questions, if you want to write them, you're welcome in the chat. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, no questions, huh? Wondering what to do about somebody that one knows, anyone doesn't know. What should I do about this? Oh, yeah, you don't want to get caught in that, huh? Okay. Family responsibility is in conflict with the aspiration and lifestyle I wish to go for. From time to time, I wish to be free from this duty much, much sooner. But on the other hand, I feel guilty when I think this way. What should I do? How to encourage me? The sense that I can't endure any further. It's a lie. If you're experiencing something, you are enduring it. That's the strange thing. And yeah, just keep going. And it's what happens. We really, the next moment is always, always, always unsure. And we just don't know what's going to happen next. Too many times, too many people have experienced this. You don't know what's going to happen next. So don't, when one does feel this, I don't know what to do, then this is how you feel. I feel I don't know what to do. I feel guilty that I feel guilty. But only because you wish yourself well. Stay with the 80% internal, which actually says, I wish myself well. I wish others well, and I'm not going to be averse to this. I wish them well in the sense that I can accept them totally as they are. I'm not even going to worry about, I feel guilty about feeling guilty. Yeah, I can accept even that. I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I can't feel, that I don't. I still feel guilty, and I can't accept the fact that I feel guilty about feeling guilty. And then just slow it down, and notice the boring and the space and the context in which it happens. And notice the peacefulness of that space. And trust the Buddha. That's why I say a lot of our confusion comes when we don't trust the sense of knowing. We think I have to do something, I have to get something, I have to get rid of something. And that's not really trusting the knowing. Because we're actually adults. And we can behave. This is dukkha. I don't need to add to the cause. I can practice the path. And in practicing the path, there is no suffering because that's the best I can do. I'm not making more suffering. Yeah. Sometimes when facing inwards, there's a loop of inner thought. Don't try to stop the thought. Notice what's not thinking. Just notice what's not thinking. Notice the space when one asks the questions, well, who's thinking? What's this thinking about? Or slow deliberately the thoughts down. Try breathing out, holding the breath out and sipping the breath back in. Try that for 5 or 10 minutes, see what happens. Give it a sense of generosity in giving attention, the sense of patience in receiving experience. This loop of thought, what's that? Where is this experience? What color is it? What's the texture? What's the sound? Where's the silence? Where's the space? What's not thinking? I can give and know that. I can be interested in that. I can be happy that I am interested. I can be happy that I wish myself well. And I can accept myself exactly as it is. And I only want to change things because I wish myself well. Stay with that. I'm trying to find ways to wish myself well, so I have to deal with it as it is. I have to accept it as it is. If I try to get rid of it and think it shouldn't be there, well, that's going to just add to my stress. And others. Yeah, great. Pedro, who doesn't drink alcohol in social situations? Well, Ajahn Jitendra used to do that. He said he managed to work out, he did his whole time at university not taking alcohol and being quite fine with that. People do it. It's very, very helpful. Not taking drugs and alcohol. Not that sort of indulgence in trying to make an excuse for one's judgment. One's lack of discernment, which is what the drugs and alcohol do. attention inwards, I just recommend interest in the path. And I'm glad that people are practicing not taking alcohol. It's much more fun, I'm told. I believe. And, finding a good friend, and even if that good friend is just YouTube videos, asking AI what Ajahn Vajiro would say about this, because you can do that. You can say, what would Ajahn Sumedho say about this problem that I have? You can type it into AI and it'll give you an answer. It's the way it is. You can keep reminding yourself. You can't say so much about what Ajahn Vajiro say because there's not enough information about what Ajahn Vajiro say. But Ajahn Vajiro, AI will give you his advice. Keep reading a bit of the Buddha Dhamma. Do people with dementia still create heavy karma? They can't create very heavy karma because they're not got a lot of intention happening. But it's difficult to get out of. What's happening, I have no idea. And then would you believe what I say anyway? Why are you interested? Those sort of questions.